To use pictures in Java in your Turtle graphics project, you need three things. Number one, you need to know where your pictures are. You need to have them. Number two, you need to know where to put them, where they go. And number three, you need to know actually how to use them in code. So let's look at the first one. Where are your pictures? We've given you this project or this folder, package of pictures. It's called Graphics Pack V1. It might be updated by the time you look at this, but your graphics pack holds all your pictures. If you click in your graphics pack folder, we have three subfolders. One is Diz, the other is Mulp, and the other is SWA. Okay, the Diz are just Disney pictures. Your Mulp, MLP, is My Little Pony pictures, and your last one is SWA, Star Wars. These are pictures. I'm going to change the view across the top so that you can actually see the images that we're using. Okay. And so there's where your pictures are. I put mine on my desktop. I don't know where you put yours. Hopefully you'll have yours on your desktop as well. What we want to do is we want to look inside of, we're going to go grab some Disney ones. So we just click on our Disney folder, change our view in here. And the pictures that I want are going to be, we'll just use Mickey and Minnie. So we've got a couple different Mickeys. Make sure we grab the right one. It's just Mickey.png. I also want Minnie. To select more than one picture in a Mac, you just press and hold Command and click on multiple pictures. In Windows, it's Control. So we'll select two pictures right there. I'm going to right click on them. And once I've right clicked on them, we're just going to go copy two items. Now we don't have to copy them. I could move them or I could cut them. The problem is that once I actually move or cut them, I'll never be able to use them again because I'm going to put them in a new folder. So I just want to make a copy of them. So that's why we selected copy. Once they're copied, I need to take them, part two, where do they go? Well, in here, I've created a new project folder, and it's called, I believe, Use Pictures. And that's going to be inside my class folder. So there's my root folder, here's my class folder, and here's Using Pics. So I go inside my Using Pics folder. This is a working directory. In other words, this is the directory I'm going to save my Java project to. So we've got to make sure the pictures are in the exact same place I'm going to save my Java project to. So I'll just right click on here and click Paste Two Items. So now you'll see there's my Mickey and Minnie. I've copied them basically from my graphics pack to my working folder in Store. I'm going to leave this working folder up so you can look at them. Right now, let's close out of our graphics pack. Okay, so graphics pack is gone. Now we're just looking at my my working folder. So we're going to go into Dr. Java right here. And I've already got a project started, and we just called this T Graphics Pictures. I'll zoom up in on the code a little bit. You can get a better look at that. Okay, so there's capital T, capital G, T for Turtle, Graphics, Pictures. That's the name of my project. And here's my basic start of my program. Here's my class name, my main method, my go button. Here's my declarations, declare the world and a turtle. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some pictures. As a matter of fact, before we do this, let's go ahead and compile it. So we're going to save our projects. We're just going to go compile. And I want to go to my Use Pics folder. So I'll go to Class, and here's Using Pics. Double click on that. There we go. And by the way, you can see in gray there's the two pictures we're going to use. And again, make sure that my save as matches my class name, which it does. Capital T, capital G, capital P, Using Pictures, and we're going to save. All right, before we do this, I just want to show you, make sure, this is really important, make sure that your pictures are in your working folder. Your pictures and your Java project file is in the same folder. So there's my .java right there. They've got to be in, T Graphics Pictures. They have to be in the same folder. So that's critical, or this will not work. Your pictures won't work. All right, so they are here. What we want to do is we want to go under Declarations, and first we want to declare a picture. We want to say the pictures that we're going to use. So we're going to type in picture with a capital P, P-I-C-T-U-R-E, and we're going to say picture P equals new picture, and open parenthesis, close parenthesis, semicolon. Now, let's take a second here. First thing, while this is fine, P is going to be the name of our picture, just like W is the name of our world, T is the name of our turtle. P is going to be the name of our picture. It's kind of a lousy name because we don't have to call it P. If we're going to use like 5 pictures, we're going to have P and R and S and Q and Z. We don't know what those things are. So let's give it a more logical name. Let's instead of call it P, or instead of picture P, let's call it picture Mickey, M-I-C-K-E-Y. And we're going to have another picture. I'll just copy this line. We'll copy it later. So there's our first picture. Picture Mickey equals new picture. Now let's go back. We're going to take a look at our picture of Mickey, and we just want to make sure this is exactly how it's spelled. M-I-C-K-E-Y .png. That's important. You need the file extension, what kind of picture it is. So all we do is we come back here, And in our parentheses, we put 2 quotation marks. Okay, so when you open a quotation, you want to close them. And inside those quotation marks, we just want to match exactly the name of our picture inside the quotation marks. So that's mickey.png. Okay, and we're going to copy this line right here. Again, I don't recommend copying. Go ahead and retype it. It helps you become a better programmer. Inside of our picture mini, we have 2 pictures, so we're going to declare both of them. So there's our picture Mickey equals new picture. So we're going to go mini, M-I-N-N-I-E .png, and we're just going to change this to a mini. Okay. Now we've got 2 pictures, Mickey and Minnie. There's the picture's name. These are the actual pictures. The pictures that we have are in the proper directory, which is in with our source file, and they're named exactly as the picture file. Okay, so our pictures now exist. Let's actually use a picture. Use a picture. So all we do is to use a picture is we use what's called the drop command. T.drop, and then open parenthesis, close parenthesis, semicolon. All the drop command does, if you want to think about it, is whenever we declare a picture of Mickey, for example, we've really got an infinite supply of Mickeys now. Okay, so we can use Mickey as many times as we want to, and the drop command is just like if you had a infinite supply of pictures of Mickey in your hand. Whenever you say drop, that just drops one wherever you are in the location of your world. So in this case, where we're located at in our world is we're located in the center of it. Okay, that's 400, 300, 400 over, 300 down, and an 800 by 600 world. Okay, so our turtle starts at 400 over, 300 down, and that's our location. So now we're going to drop a picture of Mickey. So all we want to do is put T.drop, and in the parentheses, we want to type in what we want to drop. In this case, it's Mickey. Why? Because that's the name right here. Oops, sorry, right there. We're going to drop Mickey. Once we compile and we press, I forgot something. T.drop. Okay, forgot the E. So make sure you have it spelled correctly. Okay, compile again, and we're going to run the project. Excellent. Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. I am so glad that it happened this time for you because I cannot replicate this problem. Sometimes, let's look at our code. Code compiles correctly. Here's the problem, and you've got to make sure that you do this. And I didn't do it because I wanted to see if it would happen. It did. Great. Sometimes it won't happen. What we want to do is if the drop command is the very last command, sometimes the picture won't drop. You won't see the picture. Everything works fine. Your code runs, but the picture doesn't drop. Whenever you have T.drop as your very last command, and again, you don't have to do this after every single one, but if it's your very last command, you want to do a T.forward 0. That's just telling the turtle take 0 steps forward. We don't want to move at all. We're not actually moving anywhere. We're not making a line, but we're just making sure that this T.drop is not your last command. That just can't be your last command, or you'll get sometimes it's possible to get what happened, which is your picture doesn't drop, and you say, what did I do wrong? Why is my picture there? That's why. Nothing you did. It just, T.drop cannot be your last command. So we're going to compile again, and I misspelled something. Oh, there's an A. Okay, compile that, run it, and there's your dropped Mickey. Now, here's the cool with this. All right, so we've dropped Mickey, and all we're going to do is I'm just going to move this, as a matter of fact, I'll just give it a comment. I'll call this last command, and we'll leave that down at the bottom. That way, again, we don't have to do this after every drop. We just have to make sure that we don't end in a drop. So now what I want to do is I'm going to move my turtle to T.move to, and we're going to move it to a location on the Earth, let's say 200, or the world, 200, 200. Okay, and compile and run it. Okay, so there's our drop. There's Mickey right there. Then we moved right here. Now I told you we have an infinite supply of Mickeys, so we're just going to do it again. We're just going to do a T.drop. T.drop Mickey. And compile and run. And there's our second Mickey. So we can do this as many times as we want because we can use as many Mickeys. Just understand you do not manipulate the pictures, okay? You don't manipulate the Mickeys. You can't move. Once a picture's been dropped, that's where it is. You just dropped it in the world. It doesn't move. You can't interact with it. It just sits there. So that's where your picture is dropped, but you can drop as many as you want. And then if I do this exact same thing right here, I'm just going to do a T.drop mini. So we're going to say Mickey, and we're going to do mini. And if you see it had enough in code, we're going to see a Minnie overlaid on top of a Mickey. Okay, so Mickey was dropped first, Minnie's right there on top. So that's how you work with pictures. That's where something else I wanted to mention about the pictures, but I think that'll be it. End in a T.4. Oh, yes, my goodness, I did remember. What we're going to do right here, last thing, we're just going to move this to the other side of the world so I can separate the two pictures. And we're going to do two things. So the first thing is I'm going to move to the other side of the world, and we'll just move to, let's say 400, 400, 500, 500, 200. That'll be fine. So we're going to move 500 over. So we're going to move Minnie to the other side of the world, and we'll take a look at that, see what it looks like. So there's Minnie sitting right over here. I want to do one more thing before we drop Minnie, is we're going to do T.turn, and we're just going to turn 90 degrees. Okay, so we'll compile that and run it. And you'll notice that Minnie is now, she's not vertical, she's not right side up anymore. She's turned slanted. Why? Let me show you exactly how this works. When you drop a picture, and we're going to look right here, there's your turtle. So there's your turtle's head, there's the turtle's left legs, here's your turtle's right legs. The lower right leg right there, that leg, that's where your picture is actually dropped from. So if you see right there would be like the picture, okay, on this lower right hand leg. So depending on the direction your turtle's facing, okay, depending on the direction your turtle's facing, that's what's going to happen to your picture. So if your if your turtle's 45 degrees, it's going to be 45, 90 degrees, it could be upside down. The other thing you want to be aware of is if your turtle is on the very side of the earth. So let's go ahead, we're just going to say it's going to be 800 over, and we'll say 300 down. That'll be right on the side of the world. And we're also going to, let's turn it back, so let's go T.turn, -90. Okay, so now your turtle's going to be right side up again, and we'll compile and run that. Look at our world, and this time, it's like, hey, where's my picture at? Well, your picture is over here, but because your turtle's off to the side of the world, your picture actually exists right here, okay, outside of the world. So we just want to make sure when working with pictures, you need to know where your turtle is. It has to be oriented properly, and if your picture is upside down or at some kind of degree, you just need to reposition your turtle. And that will be it for working with pictures.